Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. We learned back on October 23rd that Coinbase added XRP to their custody services, and that's great. So in addition to Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Ethereum Classic, XRP now is part of that bundle. I am constantly thinking about, not in a morbid way, but in a inquisitive way of what are the options out there for inheriting coins or to passing them on to people who are in our family, should something happen to us. So this custodial fee is one step closer to making those coins accessible should you pass away, because Coinbase does address it in a very professional manner. But this is for institutional investors only. I mean, look at the implementation fee is $0 to $10,000 depending on the use case. You have a basis points that have to be paid annually. And then there's a minimum balance of $1 million. So this is really not for the retail investor. If you do keep any of your assets in a Coinbase account, in the event that you inherit or otherwise become the owner of a deceased family member's Coinbase account, rest assured, they say, that Coinbase has created a process to transfer the assets in the easiest manner possible. So the best thing you do is you contact them, and then they will work with you. You have to provide them a death certificate, the last will or testament, or probate documents, along with, of course, some government valid ID that's been issued for your identification, and any letter that may have been signed by the person named in the probate documents. So I think Coinbase is getting this process done in a manner that is good. But what about those assets that are sitting in cold storage? What are the options? So this is a woman by the name of Pamela Morgan. She is an attorney, educator, entrepreneur, and former college professor. She has recently written a book, and that book is entitled Cryptoasset Inheritance Planning. Andreas Antonopoulos did write her foreword. I took a look on the inside of the book. She does a very good job at covering a lot of do's and don'ts, along with mistaken beliefs, and she has a checklist, talks about your backups, talks about how to write a letter to your loved ones, with the instructions, what your choices are, not only choices for storage, but also the legal documentation and some services out there. Now, the paperback is selling at $29.99 US. There aren't any cheaper used ones on the market yet because the book just was released in May of this year and hasn't had a chance to get some used ones at a lesser price. If you're not an Audible subscriber, it's really great. It's Amazon's service that the book is read to you, and I just love it. So you can sign up on their trial and get the book for free. But I think it's something that everybody needs to ask themselves. So she has started a company called Third Key Solution. And basically, it's a boutique consulting and cryptographic key management firm providing solutions for decentralized digital currencies and asset tokens. So you can take a look at her website. It might be something for you. It's thirdkey.solutions. On that website, she does have some very good articles, one of which she includes a template, and it's a template for your loved ones. And it's very good because you can cut and paste and put in your pertinent data and information that gives your family instructions on how to access those assets. But when you get this letter written, then what do you do with the letter? I mean, how do you ensure that it doesn't fall in the hands of somebody you don't want to get this information? So I found a company called LifeBank. LifeBank is a place that will protect your data, and they do it completely offline. They encrypt it without using the cloud. So they are absolutely kind of against storing any information on a cloud. So if you want to take a look at their services, it's lifebanksystems.com. And then there's Safe Haven. They are a recent ICO. They're still in beta, so I don't know. They were built on VeChain. They claim that they can provide safe, secure passage of all those private keys and data should you pass away. So you can see here that the conditions are preset, and it could be in the case of death, illness, or even if you go missing. So this is, again, safehaven.io. Or maybe a company like DigiPulse is good for you. It's a B2C subscription service that allows you to encrypt and automatically pass on digital assets stored in crypto wallets to its rightful inheritors. In other words, if something happens to you, DigiPulse will hand down your Bitcoin and other digital currencies stored in your wallets to your descendants. Yeah, they use a smart vault, and it is set to an expiration date, much like what they call a dead man's switch. So you can send out the data to the beneficiary on a set predetermined time of 1 day to actually up to 18 months. So I don't know, this maybe is something that would work for you. And then this gentleman, this young man, he's very smart. Back in 2011, he wrote a program. It's on Github, and it is a place that splits the secret into pieces. So it provides a circuit breaker, if you will, that's how he has it written here, against a single point of failure. And he gives away his program for free. It's an open source program, and you can click on here and find it on GitHub. He did do an update about 5 years ago. I truly don't know how good his program is. I'm just telling you that I'm looking at the different options out there and what people are doing, and this is something that might work. So it's a program that splits up the secrets, and it provides the answers in a program that is mathematically or driven by his programming. And when we look at that, back in 1979, out of Massachusetts Institute of Technology, this is a very famous secret splitting program that was written by Adi Shamir. And it's very often called Shamir's secret. And he took the case when he was at MIT that if 11 scientists are working on a secret project and they wish to lock up the documents in a cabinet so that the cabinet can be opened if and only if 6 or more of the scientists are present, what is the smallest number of locks needed? What is the smallest number of keys to the locks each scientist must carry? So he wrote a very complex mathematical program that I can't follow at all, but there are places and services that are using his program that he wrote when he was at MIT in 1979. And when we look just recently, in August, there was a big hackathon in Tokyo. And on August 21st, a Dead Man's Switch app actually won the hackathon prize. So 34 tech-savvy engineers, enthusiasts, students gathered at Hash Hub in Tokyo, which is a co-working space. And they competed for the best application that they could write. The Clock Wallet team won first place, and basically it works like this. So every month you log in and confirm if you're still alive. And if you die, or if you're inactive for a certain period of time, your funds can be transferred to someone you have pre-selected beforehand. So you set the trigger period, and it can be any time, like 6 months or 10 years. You just choose what you want that expiration period to be. And then the application will automatically then transfer those funds to another wallet should that application be triggered. So I think people are really seriously working on a solution. I'm just not sure. And this team had a gal on the team too as well. I'm just not sure if this is the best solution. And maybe if you did a combination of the Dead Man's Switch and splitting the secret. So Google, has an inactive account manager, and they will actually let you set a period of time in which your account can be classified as inactive. And it has that timeout period that you decide what that timeout period is. It will first send an alert to you before the time period is reached. And if it doesn't get a response back, it actually will notify the contacts that you have preset. And those trusted contacts then might be able to, depending on what you want to share with them, you can send them an email message, you can send them photos, you can send them documents. But if you were to split your secret up among your family or closest friends, maybe 5 or 6 people, and all 5 or 6 people or 7 people, whatever the number is you determine you want to do, have to be together to put the secret together in order to understand it, then the instructions as to where and how they could access your assets might be an answer. I'm not sure. It's tough. It's tough. This is really a tough part of being a digital asset holder. Okay, everybody, I'm going to go into a fluff story now, and we're going to stick with kind of something related. So when I came to Japan, I was so surprised that there are totally different superstitions here. One of which is if you see a hearse, you have to hide your thumbs. And it's kind of interesting, but that superstition has to do with this is called the oya yubi, and it's the parent finger. It's considered the parent finger. And you hide your thumb in the palm so that you can ensure that you are not away from your parents at the time of their death. So it's just one of those superstitions. Yeah, the superstitions in Japan are quite interesting. They're very different than what I grew up with. You can't whistle at night. If you whistle at night, you bring the snakes out. You also, the sun is set, you don't cut your nails at night. It's considered very bad luck. Lying down after a meal means you'll turn into a cow. And Japanese spiders, they are good luck if you see them in the morning, but they are bad luck for the evening. A crow's cry. It's interesting. I admire crows. I think they're so smart, and I don't see them as scary. But in Japan, crows are not necessarily well liked, and the crow's cry signals death, illness, or earthquakes. And lying with your pillow at the north is not how you do it. So you don't ever place your bed with the pillow on the north. And it's very much a Buddhist practice, because at a Buddhist funeral, that's how they lay the body, is with the head facing north at the funeral. And thunder, hide your belly button. So hide your belly button during a thunderstorm. It's a phrase that many Japanese people might remember when they were children. This is a superstition that the Japanese deity of thunder, Raijin, he is causing that thunder to happen. And then careful with your comb. So much like it is supposed to bring bad luck when you break a mirror in the West, Japan believes that it is bad luck if you break the teeth on a comb. So there you have it. Maybe one more. Nighttime laundry. Oh, yeah, you don't ever want to leave your laundry out at night, because if you do, you might cause the lingering spirits of the dead to visit you. So anyway, I think that was basically to scare people in getting their laundry done in one day. All right, everybody, that's all I have for you today. So I hope some of that information was useful, and maybe it got you thinking. And if you have some service or another solution to pass on your assets, I'd love to hear it in the comment section. All right, take care, everybody. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.